Have you ever felt like, despite all your efforts, your financial life just isn't moving forward? Maybe you have big dreams, but you find yourself stuck in a cycle of bills, debts, and endless work. It's frustrating, isn't it? And the worst part is that we're often led to believe this is the only reality possible. But here's the truth no one tells you. You don't have to accept this. In this video, we'll dismantle the idea that financial success is reserved for the few and reveal principles that can transform your relationship with money. Yes, we'll talk about multiplying resources, but more than that, about how to build a legacy that reflects your values and purpose. And no matter where you are today, what you learn here can redefine your future. If you're tired of merely surviving and want to start thriving, stick with me until the end. Together, we'll explore a path rooted in practical wisdom and biblical inspiration that will change your life, starting with small steps you can apply immediately. The illusion of financial stability. Most people grow up hearing that the safe path is to study, get a stable job, and build a life around small financial advancements. While this may sound reasonable, there's a fundamental problem with this narrative. It promotes an illusion of stability. In reality, this so-called security often traps us in a comfort zone where progress is so slow it's barely noticeable. It's like being on an anchored boat, thinking you're moving just because the tide shifts slightly. For many, annual salary increases or job promotions create a false sense of advancement. At the same time, the cost of living rises, and the pressure to spend more follows every increase in income. As Jesus said in Luke 14:28, "For which of you, intending to build a tower, does not sit down first and count the cost, whether he has enough to finish it?" Without financial planning, these improvements can turn into traps, leaving many stuck in a cycle of dependency and frustration. This cycle is perpetuated by a society that glamorizes stability and demonizes risk. But financial stability is a fragile concept, especially in a world where the global economy shifts so rapidly. The Apostle Paul reminds us in 1 Timothy 6:10, "For the love of money is the root of all evil." But this doesn't mean we should reject the responsibility of wisely managing the resources God has entrusted to us. If you realize your life is on this predictable, uninspiring path, it may be time to rethink your choices. Breaking free from the illusion of stability starts by questioning the patterns we've been taught and beginning to envision a different future. After all, Scripture also teaches us to be faithful stewards, multiplying the talents entrusted to us. Matthew 25:14-30. This leads us to the next step, awakening to reality and turning frustration into a driving force for change. Awakening to reality. Recognizing that something is wrong is the first step toward change. Many people confuse the feeling of stagnation with laziness, but in truth, it's a reflection of frustration from living a life that falls short of what they know is possible. Just like the prodigal son, Luke 15:11-32, who realized his condition only when he hit rock bottom, sometimes we need a moment of clarity to see that we're living a pattern that doesn't belong to us. The financial reality for many is shaped by limiting beliefs carried since childhood, such as, "Money doesn't bring happiness," or "I'm not good with numbers." These thoughts trap us in a cycle of self-sabotage, where any attempt at progress feels impossible. However, the Bible encourages us to transform our minds. Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Romans 12:2. Awakening to reality also means admitting that the system we live in isn't always designed for our success. Debt, excessive consumerism, and dependence on state systems keep us stuck in a cycle of purposeless work and spending. A practical exercise to break this cycle is to list all your monthly expenses and categorize them into essentials and luxuries. Often, seeing what truly consumes our resources is the necessary wake-up call. This awakening is an invitation to break free from apathy and start building something meaningful. It's not just about money, but about living in alignment with your values and the purpose God has for you. How can we move forward if we remain blind to what holds us back? The answer to this question begins with the next step, taking control of your finances and making that first move toward freedom. Taking control of your finances. The first step to taking control of your finances is adopting complete transparency with yourself. Many avoid looking closely at their expenses out of fear of what they'll find. But the truth is that financial clarity brings power. Proverbs 27:23 teaches us, "Be diligent to know the state of your flocks and attend to your herds." Similarly, we must know the state of our finances to manage them well. An essential practice is creating a clear and realistic budget. This involves tracking every cent spent over a month, categorizing expenses like food, housing, transportation, and leisure. Today, tools like financial management apps can simplify this process. Imagine earning $3,000 a month but discovering that you're spending $500 dining out. Simply reducing this expense by half could save $250 a month, which can then be redirected toward your financial goals. Additionally, setting priorities is crucial. Not all expenses are equal, and identifying what is essential versus what is a luxury can transform your perspective. Jesus reminds us in Matthew 6:21, "For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also." Do your expenses reflect your values? Once your priorities are aligned, it becomes easier to automate savings and start building an emergency fund. Finally, taking control of your finances is about more than cutting costs. It's about taking responsibility. This is the foundation for achieving financial freedom. When you understand that every decision matters, you begin to create a positive cycle where small victories lead to significant progress. And this prepares us for the next step: multiplying resources wisely and building something that grows over time. Multiplying resources wisely. Once you've taken control of your finances, the next step is to multiply your resources wisely. The parable of the talents, Matthew 25:14-30, clearly illustrates how God values multiplication and good stewardship of the resources entrusted to us. This isn't just about accumulating wealth, but about making your money work for you and bearing lasting fruit. The key to financial multiplication lies in investing. This might feel intimidating, but starting small and learning along the way is the best approach. For instance, investing in the S&P 500 is a simple and accessible option for beginners, offering historical average returns of 7% per year adjusted for inflation. If you invest $100 a month over 20 years, these small contributions could grow to over $50,000, thanks to the power of compound interest. Diversification is another important principle. Just as a farmer doesn't plant all their seeds in one field, you shouldn't concentrate all your resources in one place. Consider investing in stocks, real estate, or even skills that increase your earning potential. Proverbs 13:11 reminds us, "Wealth gained hastily will dwindle, but whoever gathers little by little will increase it." Finally, multiply with purpose. The goal isn't just to get rich, but to create freedom to serve God and others better. Imagine using part of your profits to support life-changing causes or help your family live a more stable life. This mindset prepares us for the next stage, building a strong support network to sustain this growth. The importance of building support networks. No significant growth happens in isolation. Building a strong support network is essential to sustaining financial and personal progress. In Ecclesiastes 4:9-10, we read, "Two are better than one, because they have a good reward for their toil. For if they fall, one will lift up his fellow." This also applies to the financial world, where support and knowledge exchange are powerful tools. Start by identifying people who share your values and goals. They could be in your church, Bible study groups, or even professional networks like LinkedIn. Surrounding yourself with individuals who have walked the path you aspire to follow provides valuable insights and can open doors to new opportunities. Remember, even great biblical leaders like Moses relied on mentors and allies. Another way to build this network is by participating in events and groups focused on financial and personal development. These environments not only provide learning opportunities but also help create connections that could become strategic partnerships. For example, an experienced mentor might guide you in investments, while a peer might suggest business opportunities. Additionally, don't underestimate the power of serving your community as a way to expand your network. Often, by helping others, we gain new perspectives and build meaningful relationships. At the same time, seek wise counsel and remain humble enough to learn. This solid foundation of support is indispensable for advancing confidently to the next step, making bold decisions that will transform your financial journey. Confidence for bold decisions. Confidence is the driving force that separates those who move forward from those who remain paralyzed by fear. In Joshua 1:9, God says, "Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go." This assurance is the foundation for making bold decisions and tackling challenges with determination. Often, the fear of failure prevents people from seizing unique opportunities. Imagine someone hesitating to invest in a small business idea out of fear of losing money. Yet, it is precisely in these moments that courage makes all the difference. For example, starting a small service-based business with low initial investment can bring immediate results. Even if success isn't instant, the lessons learned become invaluable assets. Building confidence takes practice. Small victories accumulated over time create the foundation for greater achievements. It could be as simple as negotiating a debt or learning a new skill to enhance your employability. These experiences strengthen your ability to tackle bigger challenges, like making significant investments or pursuing a career change. Confidence doesn't eliminate risks, it redefines how we face them. It teaches us to view failure as an opportunity for growth rather than an insurmountable obstacle. When you embrace this mindset, you're ready for the next stage, transitioning from routine work to building a legacy that reflects your faith, values, and purpose. From work to legacy, the transition from routine work to building a legacy is the pinnacle of a successful financial and spiritual journey. This is where your purpose becomes clearer, and your achievements begin to impact not just your life, but the lives of others. Proverbs 13:22 reminds us, "A good person leaves an inheritance for their children's children." This verse shows that a legacy is about more than material wealth. It's also about wisdom, values, and principles. Building a legacy starts with choosing assets that generate passive income and grow over time. This might include real estate, solid businesses, or even investments in financial markets. For instance, purchasing a rental property not only creates a stable income source, but also becomes an asset that can be passed down to future generations. This approach provides financial security and a sense of continuity. However, a true legacy goes beyond money. It involves investing in people. This could mean mentoring young professionals, teaching financial skills to your children, or supporting community initiatives. Jesus demonstrated the value of discipling others, ensuring that the message of love and transformation would continue. Similarly, by sharing your knowledge and resources, you multiply your impact. Finally, a successful legacy requires a clear vision and careful stewardship. Just as a farmer tends to their crops, we must cultivate our resources and relationships to ensure they flourish. When you reach this stage, it's no longer about what you left behind, but about the eternal impact your life has had. And here's the question: are you ready to take the next step and take control of your future? Now that you've discovered how to multiply your resources and build a lasting legacy, the question is, what will you do with this knowledge? God calls us to be faithful stewards of the talents He has entrusted to us. And true transformation begins when we decide to act. Think about it. What will be your first step? Will you create a budget? Cut unnecessary expenses? Or perhaps start investing, even if just a small amount? Write in the comments, "I will build a legacy with God." If you've made it this far, you've already shown that you're committed to change. So don't let this opportunity slip away. Your financial life can be a reflection of the values and purpose God has placed in your heart. What legacy do you want to leave for your family, for the world? This is a choice you can start making today. And of course, if you want to keep learning and growing, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. That way, you'll receive more content to help you achieve financial freedom while living with purpose. I'm here to walk alongside you on this journey, and I can't wait to see the changes you'll achieve. Let's transform the future together.